Field Report, 4th Army, 34th Infantry, 1st Brigade, 2nd Regiment, Major Hubert. Ostfront, Czarniu Sector, 17th of December 1940. Temperatures are freezing, daylight is short, and most of our equipment is malfunctioning. Engines don't start, ice gets everywhere. Our forward positions have been overrun. The Russians know this weather and don't seem bothered by it. They wear white and come creeping through the snow at twilight. Before we can get the machine gun positions alerted, they've already infiltrated our positions, and it comes down to hand-on-hand fighting. Now, any of our boys is more than a match for a Russian in a fair fight, but the constant bombing, pounding of artillery every night, equipment problems and so on will sap any man's spirit. The Ukrainians are attacking relentlessly into the fortified Russian lines, as if it's 1916 all over again. I feel that we might have fared better if they had decided to join us in the trenches, but their command has other ideas. We've received new orders to retreat across the river and set up new defensive positions in the forest to the south. That means giving up our trenches, but maybe the river can keep the Russians at bay. News from the retreat at Riga don't fill the men with confidence either. Field Report, 8th Army, 4th Gebirgsdivision, 2nd Brigade, 1st Regiment, Major von Albers. Nordfront, somewhere north of Elverum, 21st of December 1940. Orders have been to take Trondheim before the end of the year. What we have failed to take into account is the geography and complete lack of infrastructure in this place. We've redeployed from the Bergen operation to the foothills of the mountain range leading to the coast, but it has taken weeks to get all of our heavy equipment through the single railroad track leading here and to stockpile enough supplies for an offensive north. We're well behind schedule, but at least we now have air support when the bomber groups aren't busy trying to unblock the operations in Denmark. Scouts report that our delays have given the Norwegians time to bring in reinforcements and dig defensive positions. Nothing to be done about it, at least they're mostly lacking heavy weapons, but a capture of Trondheim by New Year in this weather seems too ambitious. Pretty much all operations are behind schedule at this point. The plan was to, by the end of the year, reach Trondheim, which we haven't quite managed, although there has been some progress in the Norwegian campaign, mostly due to the experience of the mountain divisions. But the Danish front has turned out to be significantly more difficult. So more air assets are needed if we are going to break this stalemate. And we have another Träger Stuka-Gruppe, a dive bomber group, and we've moved the existing one over from the French area, where it doesn't really do any good right now, to the Danish front, where we are going to help. Also in Indochina, as it turns out, the supply problems are severe here. So until we've improved the supply situation, there's no way we're breaking through towards Saigon. Moving some troops to the north to help out with Siam and potentially open another front line there. There's at least some supply in the area, so we might be able to take some of the northern supply points there. But Saigon is out of reach until we actually will have managed to generate some supply there. We also appear to have naval access problems, and I'm assuming that is due to the... Now, this is an interesting question. So supply reports tell us that no convoys have been arriving in the port, and convoys don't have access. So I am assuming that this is one of the supply routes that is not getting here, but this should work because it goes through the land routes here, and the land routes are fine. So I'm not entirely certain why the supply route from Kuala Lumpur to Tonkin is not working. So that would be that. Okay, so that comes over Ceylon. Ceylon doesn't have any supply access either, and this route goes from Basra to Colombo, And Basra absolutely should have supply access. So it looks like the resupply over land gets stuck somewhere in Iran. So I think what we'll have to do, unfortunately, is to reopen the Cape of Africa and see if that ends up fixing the supply situation that we are currently facing in Indochina. So let's see if that makes any difference. Yeah, I think does it make a difference? No, still no convoy access. We are, Kuala Lumpur Tonkin is the bottleneck here. Are we getting supply in Ceylon? We are not, and that seems to be due to land transport in the Middle East. How about we open the route around Cape Horn completely? That redirects all these supply routes south, but then they do have to somehow make their way through the Atlantic and the North Sea, which isn't ideal. So let's see if that sorts itself out. But we are trying to also improve the port infrastructure there. All right. Meanwhile, we do have to manage to somehow break through in Denmark, and it is excessively difficult because every time we are pushing the Danish out of Odense then and Sønderborg, they're reinforcing again. The West Indies Union has joined the Third International. Okay, you do that. Going to keep an eye on potential naval engagements. Japanese submarines are now spotted in the China Sea, and that means we'll hopefully soon see the German Navy in action here. The troops north of Singapore are making headway, so hopefully they can play their role. We're just defending. And we're just defending in Indochina, and while relocating troops north for an additional push into Siam. And in Norway, we are actually making our way north, I think, slowly, despite the fact that the Norwegians are defending themselves quite viciously over there. Yes, this is all just all Norwegian defenders. They don't have. I think they don't have an awful lot of heavy weapons, but they are dug in pretty well. So, oh no, they do actually bring. Some of them have brought some artillery. So it looks like our intelligence was incorrect at this, and we are struggling to get through there. How many air assets do we have in the region? Yeah, we've got about 3 air wings, although the bomber wings are severely depleted. And Trägerstuka-Gruppe needs to relocate to Jutland, if possible, and then attack. Still deploying. Okay, and once it's deployed, we'll relocate it to Jutland. So we'll have to keep an eye on. We're bringing more close-range dive bombers in with the hope that they can help dislodge the Danes from their positions faster than they can reinforce. But it looks like snowfall at least has ended, so the dreadful weather is no more. We are going to support the assault here from the side. More divisions along the left. That gives us some base stability. Someone in the comments has been asking, I believe, about the French situation, and now I think I just moved a troop where I did not want to move it. No, you assist there. Actually, that's across river. Just hold the position. French, yeah, the French situation. The French war support is not great anymore. Neither is their stability. So I think launching the Battle of France soon is going to make a difference here, and hopefully goes relatively well. Swedish destroyers are now helping out in the English Channel to chase away enemy submarines, and we will see how the things go in Norway. This push is more difficult than it should be. Although hopefully with air support we can make a difference. We can make a difference there. Lots of people joining the various wars, just keeping an eye on any potential naval action. And the logistics fulfillment is still somewhat broken. So this might be something I'll have to figure out first. What is the exact problem here? Okay, that took a little bit of digging and research, but apparently I've run into another bug. So I've traced it down from the previous game, and what happened was that as soon as Japan declared war on Germany, all my convoys disappeared. So that's why the trade routes weren't working, because it wasn't that there was no convoy access, as the game erroneously claimed, that there literally were no convoys. So also the reverse trade routes. I didn't actually notice that, I think, for the last 10 minutes or so of the last episode, that all my convoys were suddenly gone. But that's why I had no trade fulfillment. That's why I had no logistics, nothing, because I suddenly had no more convoys. So I've looked at it, the last save file, at this exact moment when Japan declared war, all my convoys disappeared. So I've used the console command to return my convoys. I think that's round about the number I should have had previously, plus minus a few. I have a production line for convoys coming up. So once the destroyers here finish, then that'll fall. These are just the old models that need to be completed, and then that'll fall through here, and then we'll be producing convoys at an alarming rate. But the trade routes should hopefully sort themselves out. Right now, it's a trade efficiency. It's a trade efficiency problem, which could be down to Japanese submarine influence here as well. So we'll see how that changes, but we are going to need some more of that. So let's trade for a little bit more aluminium with the Netherlands, just to bridge things over in the meantime until the situation with Germany sorts itself and the convoys sort themselves as well. So yeah, that was fun. We've got another ace pilot, and yes, this hopefully should sort out the supply. This sorts not all of the supply problems. So we still can't push Kuala Lumpur. We still need the. Actually, this is the Anan. Yeah, that's the naval base. We need to upgrade that. Although we might need to upgrade also. Let's do a. Now I can actually do this after reloading. Let's see if there's any other bottleneck that's coming up. Yeah, Tonkin is mentioned as well. So let's give 2 to Tonkin, 2 to Anan, and then hopefully we will have a little bit more supply, because as it stands we cannot push towards Saigon. However, we can probably make ourselves useful in the north, moving some troops onto the front lines there, and see if we can help with that a little bit. And hopefully that sorts the trade out as well, because I think my production has been suffering. So let's see where we are. We're probably planes. We're not even producing any mechanized at the moment, and a lot of plane production is hampered due to the lack of aluminium and rubber. So that definitely needs to. Where is it? Here. That needs to get sorted. So if the German East Asian trade routes are not coming online anytime soon, then especially for rubber, then we might have to do have a land route. We can trade for a little bit of rubber with Middle Africa, so we might actually just get that. But German East Asia, that's a lot of convoys, 256 convoys. That seems rather a lot, but we might need even more. So let's get one more factory, 300 convoys. We're getting there. We'll just have to keep an eye on the actual number of convoys that we're having, and that gets us sorted in terms of rubber and more aluminium from the Netherlands. So also, I think our production has gotten a lot more factories recently. All right, the Swedes have defended Malmö, and we are still trying to break this Danish defense here, but I think we are getting there. And the Maschinengewehr M39 with a 20 centimeter leichter Ladungswerfer M40. That's probably that's the light charge thrower 20 millimeter. That's a grenade launcher or a mortar of some sort. Okay, so that's finished. That's good. That's just an infantry upgrade. But what we do need, and this shows it. This combat here shows it very clearly that our existing approach to using using forces to cross rivers, fjords, and other waterways is insufficient. That means we are going to need better Marines, and better Marines need better equipment. And part of that equipment is going to be the Landwasserschlepper, the land-water tractor of sorts. It's basically an Amtrak. It's an amphibious transport. It's an amphibious mechanized infantry unit, and we are going to get the amphibious drive. So let's see. This is 149 days, and that's 149 days. So it's all the same. Well, let's begin with this one using Opel, and we will eventually have improved Marine divisions. However, in the meantime, we'll have to do with better infantry because the Marine divisions are in a terrible shape. They don't even have any heavy weapons. So I think the next step will be to use some army experience, once this combat here is over finally, to use some army experience to upgrade these Marine divisions. And we have some command power, so it's a good time to take a moment and look at the... look if anybody has any upgrades that we can take. We've got von Manstein, that's just guerrilla fighter. I'm not that keen on plus 50% entrenchment speeds. It's not bad, but there's usually something better. So I'm normally waiting for the generals to level up. Von Mackensen here can get the combined arms expert, which is exclusive with the armor expert, but he has no armor experience anyway. So this is he could become a cavalry expert, but I think that's just for actual cavalry units, whereas this is also motorized mechanized. And I think combined arms is what we're going to give him. Then we can have a look at our admirals. Erich Reder. He could take the ground pounder trait. Is there anything else that he's getting relatively close on? This is all far off, really. 25% shore bombardment. Yeah, I mean, why not? This is something that the Schlachtgeschwader at some point are going to be doing, so we'll assign that. Talking about Schlachtgeschwader, second Schlachtgeschwader is still repairing, and so is the first. How's the allocation? Okay, no, we've got dockyards allocated. Shouldn't be 1 day, 3 day, 9 days. Okay, so we're almost done with the repairs. Where was I? Yes, Admiral upgrades. We've got Rolf Karls, who could... let's see, how much are we? 50 left. Okay, we'll look at him later. We've got the Geleitflotte, potentially. With a retreat. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's give him that. Smokescreen Specialist. Aufklärungsgeschwader. Torpedo screen penetration or submarine attack. Not sure yet. I'll leave that open. And yes, from the Ostafrika, Rolf Karls, Admiral Karls from the Ostafrika Geschwader. Retreat decision chance plus 25%. They are convoy raiding, but I think that's a good choice for him because these are all very old ships, so they do need to retreat. We've got a couple of ships in the reserve here. They should automatically refill the depleted squadrons. I'm not sure why they're not doing it though. Oh, hang on, these are not submarines. Yeah, that's why. That'd be why. They're escort ships. So they should These should be on convoy escort, and these should automatically refill these escort groups. That's why. So they need the Geleitgruppe pattern. So this is, if you're not, sorry, just that since we're on the topic of mechanics, if you're unfamiliar with this, the task force composition is actually really useful for these kind of task forces. So I want all of these to have 10 until I'm full, and then I'll just increase it. And I want them to automatically take ships from the reserve fleet. So what I can do is I can actually create a template. I've named it Geleitgruppe of 10 destroyers. Save that template and then just apply that template, which means it will automatically, and we'll have to do the same here. You see right now there it's just a regular destroyer group, and it'll just always be its size. Whereas if you apply a template, now it's 7 out of 10, and you see it now here, it'll enable automatic reinforcement. So these ships are going to automatically reinforce the group, and that means they will. I don't have to manage it. So that's that. That was nice to see. Okay, we are making headway towards Trondheim. We're just securing the flank here on the eastern side, given that there are no Swedish divisions that are pulling in. And we are moving north, I think, at a brisk speed at this point. Once the flank there is secured, okay, the Swedes have reinforced on the other side as well. Once they will support here from the east, but I think the mountain divisions are about to break through here. Yep, there we go. And now we just have to keep using the momentum to strike through towards Trondheim. Okay. We are taking this position, so we can push north from here, and one division defend, the other two move north towards Norwegian counterattack from the north. But I think our mountaineers at this point should have this, and I think we are almost. Where's the railway connection going here? There, actually, we need to go this way. So I think we are going to leave another division here. We'll send one division to flank and secure the western flank of Trondheim. We're moving in more divisions from the south to secure the lines here. There are plenty of Norwegians up in the mountains and some British potentially. I think that's the 9th Highland, high up in the mountains. But we'll secure Trondheim and cut off the Norwegian Mountaineer Division here, and then secure the line here and clean up the rest of the divisions, and that should be the end of Norway. How far is Norway towards capitulation? Where's the Second Weltkrieg? Okay, something odd is going on again. Where is the second? Where's Norway? 67%. Okay, that's not as much as I was hoping for, but hopefully we might have to still push towards Narvik. But if we cut off Trondheim, destroy the Norwegian army in the south. We are holding Bergen. Then after this operation, we should be able to push through to Narvik without too much trouble, just using the ports in the north to pull along. Anyway, in Germany, we have dissolved socialist organizations. The war gives us a chance to cripple both socialism and our perennial social democratic opponents. Really, they had it coming. Pacifist, socialist, and social democratic organizations will be disbanded due to the threat they pose to wartime unity, and the most vocal ringleaders will be detained indefinitely. Talking about detaining ringleaders, and yes, this has significantly improved the popularity of the Kaiser and his party at the expense of the remnants of the Social Democrat opposition, given that they had their chance. But talking about opposition, Ernst Thälmann, for several counts of organized robbery, butchery, and attempted murder as a member of underground socialist terrorist circles, for conspiracy against the Kaiser and the German Empire, for being a threat to public security, for known contacts with the security services in the Federation of Communes of France, and refusing to give any information on the location of known criminals, conceded on all charges, death sentence recommended. So we shall execute him instantly. See, the thing is, if you are, we've brought ourselves into a position where we are literally rounding up the opposition and summarily executing them on, well, potentially trumped up charges. Now, it's not that there isn't any French subversion. It's just that it's a very convenient way of getting rid of people who are in the way of whatever goal we're having. By simply declaring them a French collaborator and getting rid of them. All right, so that's ongoing. We do have some political powers, so we can also enact, where was it? We can utilize the domestic film industry. So we are going to start making some war films, and we are going to promote the glory of the German army and the righteous fight that we're in. So we're going to be doing that, and that gives us instantly more war support. So which in return increases mobilization speed, division attack, and gives us more command power, which is all very, very nice. French attacks on the front lines have largely ceased, but we have the Eisenbahnbatterie 2. That thing probably needs to be renamed. Once I figure out how to do that, it should be possible to rename it, right? I'm not entirely certain I can. There we go. So the previous railway guns, what are they called? That's the Kaiser Friedrich. I think we're going to call this one. That's a name I've been wanting to use. This is going to be the Schwerer Gustav. There we go. Okay, Schwerer Gustav. We have, I think, covered the French front relatively well. We could send it to the Eastern Front to assist, especially in the regions where we are facing enemy breakthroughs. So I might send it to the to the sector here on the Eastern Front, or is there any other? We do have another one here that needs to be renamed as well. We do already have one here, so let's send a second one over there. And this is sufficiently far from the front lines. Yeah, there we go. This one needs to be renamed, and that one we shall call Karl. There we go. Okay, then we'll have to get creative with future names for railway guns. But good to see that these things are starting to come into traction. How's our trade situation? Okay, we're clear on trade. Germany's Asia trade routes are starting to function, so that's good. After the convoys have been reintroduced, and we've got everything we need. All right, one more possible. This is all, by the way, once it's completing, still going to increase our war support. So one more possible. What can we do? Don't really see it. Oh, it's just the ace pilot. Okay. Ice pilot has been promoted, good. And we need to select a new national focus. So this should all speed up the lacking preparedness, but I haven't seen the events yet. So I'll just keep going. And this will be reducing the lacking preparedness modifier. So after the harsh winter of 1940, and it is now January 1941, we're going to prevent future turnip winters and sort out our food supply globally for the empire by sourcing additional food. We can get some food out of Poland if we need to. And yes, I'm still holding the Poles in reserve because there's not much there. I think they've committed their troops elsewhere in the meantime, but we are slowly starting to get some additional divisions in, and I think we're also going to start seeing a possibility to upgrade divisions. So I have enough mechanized. Let's get that to happen. And the first Panzer we can probably change. 240, 460, close enough. Okay, so let's do that. And then these can be resupplied before an attack on France. And yes, once the okay, have we managed to push through? Yes, we have. We have managed to push into Odense, which means that the Danish positions have been broken, probably due to the additional. I'm going to move these here, due to the additional air support that we're having. So now it's just a march towards Copenhagen, and we will destroy the remnants of the Danish army after that grueling fight here. The tanks are going to move east and go straight towards Copenhagen. The rest of the troops are pushing the Danish divisions out into the remote islands. The armored divisions are rushing through, are seeing no further resistance, and now are crashing into the Copenhagen defenders. And there are no more natural barriers between them. So we shall now crush the defenders of Copenhagen and make a very quick end to this war against Denmark. The north have been taken. I think Brazilian divisions have assisted in taking out the defenders near Aalborg, and that means we only have to finish up. Can we get? Yeah, we can get 2 divisions in on here. That should be sufficient with air support. We'll finish up Copenhagen relatively quickly from here on out. In the north, we are still attacking towards Trondheim. I think we can. We have an opportunity here. We'll keep pushing. We'll encircle this Norwegian division in the north, the 15th Field Division of some sort, and we've got more troops. Although these need to be the mountain divisions need to be reconstituted a little bit. They will send defenders. They're sending more defenders to close the gaps towards Trondheim. So we will probably use the relatively fresh 240th Infantry to pin the defenders in the mountains here, while the Gebirgsdivision are going to reorganize themselves. We have the Alpenkorps, which can join the assault and move straight up on Trondheim. Japan declares war on Poland, and Copenhagen is about to get crushed. Here, troops are moving into their positions slowly, and then hopefully we can try to exploit the front lines. But it looks like we actually have not enough divisions along the lines here from German East Asia. So I thought we actually had more of a superiority here. How's the air situation? Yeah, we have aerial superiority in the region. So we might give it a try towards Saigon. We'll let the planning complete, but we might be able to give it a try towards Saigon. Next things, we do need to keep an eye on the situation in the North Sea. We are hunting. One of our submarines has been damaged by British naval bombers, which is less than ideal. A British naval wing has attacked Lübeck and Dresden. I think Lübeck and Dresden would have been part of one of the Aufklärungsgruppe. That's Berlin, Bremen, Stettin, Straßburg, Hunin, Steinmetz. Yeah, Lübeck and Dresden. This is the Strasbourg class. So these ships actually have a good amount of air defenses, and it has shown because the British have The British have done some light damage to Dresden, but have lost eight of the attacking planes in the meantime. More naval battles. This is just convoy actions. The rest is just convoy actions. Still sinking convoys across the Atlantic Gap here, which has been excessively successful. And yeah, as you can see, the Geleitgruppen have been, and you are supposed to be on convoy escort. Is automatic? Automatic split off needs to be enabled for these. Yes. Okay, split off. Yeah. Please do not send the whole group to port when one ship needs to repair. I need these escorts out there. Okay. French counterattacks in the south here, but these are not going to get anywhere. However, we should have the Fernkampfgeschwader now available, and we can start blowing up some of the French infrastructure. So southern France is relatively undefended, and that means we can probably start bombing the French industry into submission. Let's have a look where the French industry is actually located. Okay, if we can see that, that is, we can. We'll have to probably look. Yeah, we don't know enough. We don't know enough about the French to know where they actually have concentrated their industry. So we'll bomb the resources in the southern heartland. So Fernkampfgeschwader go into. That means we have to fly just across the border of the northern French air zone to go for strategic bombing. And your priority should be, can we bomb resource extraction, infrastructure, civilian military factories, airports, railways, enemy air bases? No, we can't bomb mining actually. In that case, prioritize on the military industry. So military and civilian industry. And hamper their rearmament efforts or their armament efforts. All right, other things. Henschel. Henschel is our tank designer. I think we are through. We're through with this tree. So we've got a reliability boost we could take, or 5% armor, which I think 5% armor is what I want to go with. Not gonna upgrade just yet, but we can set a policy. Let's see what we can do here. Factory applied camouflage plus 2% and breakthrough. Production efficiency cap, that's nice as well. Plus 2% hardness, plus 5% armor, that's nice. Yeah, I think armor welding specialists is what we're gonna go with. The first and third Gebirgsdivision and the Alpenkorps are pushing towards Trondheim. They are again at the edge of their supply, but hopefully the amount of stockpiles that we have created on the way here are going to be enough, together with the aerial support, to crush the Norwegian defenders. In terms of aerial support, and actually, I don't think we need the tactical bomber wings in Denmark anymore. Let's get everything focused on. The Norwegian campaign, and after that, I think the tactical bomber wings, they're at 69% combat efficiency at this point. They do need to rest and rearm. Actually, we might need to improve our production a little bit, since the where are they? Since the Dornier 2, these have all been converted, so we can stop this, and the same here. We can stop this line as well, and that means we've got 20 factories now on the Dornier 217s, and that should be good. In terms of tanks, I'm not going to upgrade them just yet. once we actually have some equipment upgrades, we can go through that. And we need to trade for more aluminium because we are still short on aluminium. Netherlands. That's some additional aluminium. We do need to somehow improve our aluminium resources, honestly, at some point. We can probably get excavation techs often. Excavation techs can unlock decisions to build additional things, but I'm definitely going to get the excavation techs here. And we also need to do construction 4. So yeah, we're just waiting for the centrimetric radar to complete. And that actually unlocks the advanced radio, which means then we can upgrade the tanks. So that's all good. All right, all the air force is concentrated on the battle in Norway. Denmark has capitulated, which gives us a good boost in equipment after Copenhagen has fallen. Denmark has capitulated, handed over 7,300 rifles, 400 pieces of light artillery, and some various equipment. Denmark has announced its total surrender to the German Empire. The German forces, along with a number of independent Danish authoritarian Democrat supporters, have forced Christian X and his government into exile, as a new government has been established to rule Denmark in cooperation with the German Empire. Wilhelm II has remarked that this mutual agreement will bring a new age of prosperity and cooperation to Denmark. Christian X responded by stating that even in exile he shall continue to fight for Denmark and support all resistance efforts in his homeland. Great news indeed. We are going to annex Denmark, and I think we don't have enough. We don't have enough war score, but since we're not the only one, so let's begin just by taking the Zetland. Let's go look here. Okay, Zetland shall be under our control. That's the most important one. So the first demand from the German government is that Zetland shall be annexed. There is not much left in terms of navy, so I'm really just keen to get Denmark under direct German control. And since nobody else has really done an awful lot, Sweden is the biggest contributor besides us, but we are just going to demand Jutland as well, and then there we have it. I think that's about, yeah. I'm really not that interested in their coastal ship. They can keep that under the new German military government. Confirm and exit. And Denmark was annexed. Equipment has been seized, and that is the end of Operation Lux. And that is the first victory in the northwards expansion of the German Empire. That gives us control over some new territory. The Danish population will submit, and we will now relocate all forces of the Second Army towards the invasion of France. Now that Operation Paula is being successful, and we have been wearing down the enemy quite a bit. We will relocate all the tactical bomber wings south, and they need to be reconstituted. So let's bring everything. We do need to improve some of our air bases here a little bit. Let's bring them over to Berlin for now, and they will be reconstituted. And I think the northern front. I don't know. No, we still need them in. No, we'll keep them here first. Some of them are severely depleted, but let's see. Some of them are pretty badly depleted. So 6th Kampfgeschwader probably will take them out. We'll send them to Berlin for reconstitution and training. The rest of the other wings actually need to be designated to the Northern Front Air Fleet. There we go. And they are going to continue continue fighting. We do have, we do have the Kampfschulgeschwader here as well. They can move over. That should fit, given that we're moving one out. So we'll move them over as well. And once we are we're capturing the airbase in the north. Then there should be one near Trondheim. Then we have additional air resources there as well. And otherwise, all the fighter wings, the 11 fighter wings, are still busy here. We have. We look at the Rhineland, 96 support planes. We don't need all the heavy fighter wings for that, so we can probably. We'll leave 2, and we'll get 3 to assist with wearing down the French Air Force. In southern Germany, I've got 41, so the 2 fighter wings can wear the rest down, and 44 bombers in the lower German air zone. That is minor. We'll be wearing those down as well. Okay, so first success, which means we are going to relocate the troops of the Second Army that are in the region. And I think there was some minor combat still ongoing, but I think that has resolved itself with the Danish capitulation. So we'll move these troops into attack positions in France. They're not going to take the... where are we going to attack here? Let's have a look at the terrain. There we go. So this is all forested. They never expect us to be able to break through the forest. So this is relatively well defended, however. Getting the tanks through here is going to be difficult. We'll send them as reinforcements south first. So let's get the armored divisions, not the cavalry, just the tank divisions and the motorized divisions that we've allocated here, and we'll send them as reserves to Stuttgart, to Strasbourg, where they can reconstitute themselves for now, and get any kind of losses replaced. We have the marine divisions, which are in urgent need of improvement. Not yet sure where we are going to employ them. I think they'd be good for river crossings in France, but I think for now we will just we'll leave them stationed in Copenhagen, and we'll just get them to replenish and train up. And the cavalry divisions at this point, the 10th Army under von Mackensen, really needs to be modified. So we don't really have a template for them yet. I'm thinking of basing it off this one more or less, and replacing it mostly with mechanized. But we don't have enough. Mechanized equipment by far. So let's put another couple of factories on that. And we are going to be building more military factories once we are complete with the infrastructure construction in Asia, where we now can have a try. No, we're still going to wait for the planning to complete. All right, so the next focus of combat. First, we'll have to take a very quick look at the situation on the Ostfront. It looks like the Russians might be breaking through in Sevastopol here. Yeah, I might have to divert troops there. So we do have 7 divisions here under training. Kesselring's Lithuanians are holding the Chernihiv sector, but I might have to divert. Let's get 4 of these to a fallback line. And make sure that the Russians are not the Russians are not. I mean, they have taken. They are about to take Crimea. There's nothing to be done about it, and they're committing a significant amount of resources. So let's make sure we're holding the crossing, and they cannot break through into our rear near Kherson and the other positions. All right, and that gets us back to the Scandinavian campaign, where we are about to complete Unternehmen Sandbank. And with heavy air support, we are trying to break through the exhausted Norwegian defenders. They are in strong positions there, but we're outflanking them. Centrimetric radar is done. We're outflanking them, and the mountain divisions now are actually in a position to secure the western flank of Trondheim. So let's begin the assault there as well. So now we are assaulting along the lines. We have completed centrimetric radar. There's more radar tech to be done. Nuclear tech needs to happen at some point, but right now I'm just going to go for construction. Actually, I'm going to go for excavation 3 first. I'm going to have to leave one, or maybe even 2 on industry at the moment, just to get a bit more research done there. We have some infantry divisions that can be sent to the 15th, so let's send them there. We're starting to build up some assault infantry currently they're holding the Riga line. The north is lost. There was no way we were going to hold this given the massive Russian incursion that had occurred, and they were just flooding a full field army into there. But Riga we should be able to hold. Riga has some decent fortifications, and we're securing the south bank of the river. So this is the next defensive line where we are going to stop the Russian advance. All right, back to. I'm going to keep an eye on any kind of naval engagements. We're still looking for the home fleet, and that anything that might show itself. The majority of the first Schlachtgeschwader is on the way. Is on the way to repair. The second Schlachtgeschwader is currently repairing in Oldenburg, and I think the repairs should be done reasonably soon. We're sending the first one to Wilhelmshaven, honestly, because otherwise they'll end up repairing in the Netherlands. And I think what's left from the second that is still repairing. The von der Tann is the only one that's still repairing. So. She's almost done. So second Schlachtgeschwader is going to be active again soon. And this once the repair here is done, then this Geleit group will be joining in again as well. Okay, all good. Back to Scandinavia, where we are breaking through towards Trondheim. The Norwegians have reinforced. But the exhausted 3rd Gebirgsdivision has managed to push the Norwegian defenders out, and the remaining troops are following up. And I think the road to Trondheim is now relatively open. We are securing the western flank here with the 4th and 5th, and I think I can use one. Let's keep pushing them away, and to secure the area around Trondheim, secure the flanks around Trondheim, and we will probably push further north from here on, honestly. Okay, that leads to the encirclement of the Norwegian mountaineers, and that should secure us Trondheim. Okay, that's a relatively sturdy defense. So let's not do this alone. Sixth can work on wiping out the Norwegian mountaineers here, who are encircled, and in fact just don't reconstitute first. We're going to send the infantry division here. Alpenkorps has pushed the Norwegians out. First is moving into Trondheim, and third is securing the western flank of Trondheim. We will be pinning the Norwegians so they can't reinforce Trondheim here, and make sure that we actually end up taking the city. They have sent some British reinforcements have made their way in there, and a new ace has appeared. Few take as many risks as the brave pilots of the German Air Force. Bruno Müller, a skilled pilot known under the call sign Fürst, has distinguished himself not only returning alive, but piloting his Focke-Wulf 190A1 with immense skill. Recently, Bruno was on a mission over Low Countries and was instrumental to the success of this critical encounter. Held up as a shining example of German courage, Bruno's recent promotion has been highly publicized. Although the people may view war as more hell than glory, many are glad to see that they're still heroes to rally behind. No, shouldn't be popping up every single time. Okay, the 6th is completely exhausted. I think the 1st is going to reach Trondheim relatively soon, and the Swedes are assisting. Yeah, they have reinforced Trondheim, unfortunately. So despite the fact that the 6th is exhausted, they have to be thrown into the fight, and we have to try and evict the Norwegians. The 3rd should be in a place to attack Trondheim from the west as well. So with air support, we should be able to break through these lines without too much problems. There we go. The Norwegians have been pushed out of Trondheim, and the 1st Gebirgsdivision has managed to take Trondheim. And with that, only 2 weeks delayed, we have only with 2 weeks delay we have completed the first objective of Operation Sandbank. Unfortunately, the Norwegian government in exile has escaped to Narvik, and Norway. We'll have to find the right war here. It's going to be one of these. Yes. So Norway is 78% towards capitulation. We will try and see if we capture. Are there any victory points in the area here? I don't think so. There's nothing else that we haven't already captured. Anyway, we'll clear out the Norwegian forces, which are now trapped and completely cut off from any kind of supply. We will clear the Norwegian regions, and then we will prepare a push north if necessary towards Narvik. But the Norwegians at this point have been severely weakened. There is a potential for a Swedish supply position that we've created in Norrland to launch another assault and cut through the remaining defenders, and then clear the road towards Narvik, which is only defended by some Mexican troops by the looks of it. All right, the rest of the flank, eastern front, is reasonably stable. Chernihiv has fallen, and that means the Lithuanians. The Lithuanians have not managed to hold the lines there, as was expected. But that means they need new orders, because they are these 3 divisions are now just going to hold the south bank of the river, probably like this. Okay. So that's fallen. That was expected. Ostwall is still holding around Mariupol. And still the Ukrainians are attacking. But I think all in all, we've mostly slowed down the Russian advance. Russia has taken some losses to the Ottomans in Central Asia. The situation in Azerbaijan is mostly stable. We have lost contact with a lot of troops here, which is unfortunate, but we don't have enough troops to rescue them. So the Georgians will have to fight that out by themselves. The Ottomans can deal with that situation, and that brings us back to the war in In the south, where I think we have an opportunity, yes, it's about as good as it gets. Let's throw the 3 assault infantry, despite the fact that they are relatively low on equipment and supplies in general. We're throwing them in against the Indo-Chinese defenders here. We're pushing them back towards Saigon, and if we can take Saigon, then hopefully the war is going to be over. So with some air support and with bombardment from the German East Asian Fleet, we should be hopefully make our way through into Saigon without too much trouble. We'll see if these 3 divisions can make it, despite the fact that they are hungry and relatively low on ammunition. But if once Saigon is taken, we can take over their stores and replenish their positions. Haiti has joining the Reichspakt. Of course, they are welcome to do so. And I am just keeping an eye on the situation here to see if we can, before the end of January, make our way through. There is naval combat in the English Channel, but it's just submarines. Okay, nothing major. Just keeping an eye on any potential British engagement here. The Dutch have sunk a British submarine. This was inconclusive. These are 5 Irish convoys, and one of our destroyers has been sunk by British naval bombers. We might have to divert some air assets to the region, and the amount of enemy planes operating in the air is still small. How about the Danish air zone? No, they're not bombing the Danish air zone. How are we doing over southern France? There are a fair amount of interceptors up in the air. We've lost the bombers so far, but have not really been very successful. Mostly they've been intercepted by the looks of it. We'll keep the operation going for a bit. We might have to send some heavy fighters as support if the losses in bombers are too great. But for now, we'll assume that the bomber always gets through. And lastly, we are pushing towards Saigon. So let's see if there's the final battle for Saigon. The attackers under Paulus are going to have to fend off a vicious counterattack, while at the same time pushing the exhausted defenders out of Saigon. Is the last stand of under General Tran van Don. They're having the last stand there, but with German Flammenwerfer joining in, the situation should turn into our favor relatively quickly. They don't have the firepower to repel us. The German East Asian Navy is bombing them from the shore, blasting their positions as well. So that final division has been pushed back. They're throwing one more division in a desperate attempt to hold us back, but I think it's not going to be enough. We will leave one division on the coast just to secure the lines here. Okay, we'll leave one division at the coast, and we have to try and hold Saigon. Okay, they have pushed us back in a desperate counterattack, so we'll send the 2nd Infantry Division in once more into the breach, while the other 2 are retreating. Saigon is turning hands quickly due to enemy counterattacks, but we are going to send... No, you don't need to go there. Let's shorten the line. There we go. So one division stays. The third Königlich Sächsische moves into Saigon as well. And then we will attempt to hold this position and take their supply and make sure that we are keeping Saigon under German control. preventing turnip winters has completed, and again they have reinforced Saigon. So I think it's going to be a cliffhanger. Can we take Saigon? We are going to start the northern campaign soon, and see that we can push into Siam. The German troops from Singapore are making headway, but Saigon is trading hands quickly, and the rebels are desperate to defend their capital. So lastly, the turnip winter prevention is complete. Now, the only thing, we'll restore the Notabitur system, and then hopefully the lacking preparedness is going down further, but it's taking its sweet time. Anyway, after the stalling that we've experienced in the last episode, where Operation Lux and Operation Sandbank have not gotten anywhere. We've now completed Sandbank. Denmark is under our control, and once the snow is melting mostly, then we will start the assault into France in earnest. We've got aerial superiority over northern France. The enemy has been worn down significantly. We've shot down over 1,400 enemy fighters and about 1,000 bombers, to the loss of only 300 fighters on our side. So it's and all of that in under a year. So von Richthofen's Luftwaffe has definitely earned their merits, and that gives us, once we'll have to wait for the tactical bomber wings to complete the Norwegian campaign, at least the southern part of it, and then we will get most of them back home to reconstitute, get the Kampfgeschwader back up to strength, and how many are we short of the Dorniers? 73 days. So yeah, about 2 months, and then the Kampfgeschwader should be completely reconstituted and ready for additional operations. And that means we can begin the invasion of France, Operation Gelb.